Jeremiah, we're glad to have you on. Thank you for coming on. I gotta say, like my one question, and this is something that astounded me. I looked at your bio, and all the All Star Game and Showcase appearances were like listed in block form. It looked like the credits of a movie. You were like the James Brown of All Star Game and like Gridiron Showcases, playing in 8 of them. And if I lost count, please forgive me because it was a lot. So I guess what was your mindset and like I guess what willpower like drove you like through playing in like 8 of these All-Star games and like working out in these showcases?
I played in a total of 5 of them, and it was just a blessing from God. So I just looked at it like God put the opportunities in my life for a reason. So I took advantage of all of them and took the same approach just to dominate. Like that's the only thing that I think about is just to dominate what is in the weight room, on the field, classroom, and in life. I just want to be dominant. Like I just want to always be the best I can be, and it just showed. And I'm just grateful for God allowing me to be able to stand out as much as I did at these different bowl games, and not to be able to overcome the different trials and tribulations that people was telling me that comes with playing multiple bowl games, like you get hurt or this, or it was a lot of negativity when I first was telling people I was gonna play in every bowl game that invited me, and they was just like, normally people only playing 1 or 2 bowl games, but I was just telling them like my faith in God is stronger than anything, and I get on my knees every night asking Him to protect me, so I was never worried about anything like that. So it's a blessing that I did play in all of them because it put me on the map. So it's a blessing from God.
Well, Jeremiah, I appreciate you taking this time of that answer to bring glory to the Lord. Really appreciate it. But yeah, I gotta say, like, I mean, in terms of like injury concerns, like, was that even a concern at all? Like, was there at least one play where you thought, man, like, would I get myself into playing 5 All-Star games?
Never, not even a doubt. Like once I say my prayer before I get on that field and ask God to put His protection over, give me His most strongest angel and stuff like that, I don't worry about it. I don't have no worry. I'm just thinking about how to dominate this next play, how to dominate this next rep, how to dominate this next bowl game. So I just took that approach with every aspect in my life, even to the interviews, like how to dominate the interviews after practice. When you have a dominant day, they want to meet with you at nighttime. So I took that approach in every aspect when it came to the bowl game. It's paid off. I'm still in shock that a lot of things happened the way it did, and I just know it's God. That's the only thing I can say.
Absolutely, Jeremiah. Man, like talk about durability. Being a strong point. I mean, that certainly is on the top of your list as a prospect. So I'll throw it to my co-host for questions, starting with Coach Williams and going clockwise.
All right. Jeremiah, we appreciate you doing this for us, man.
It's a blessing and an honor just
That's
to
right.
be on here.
It's an honor for us to have you. I got to start off by telling you I got some family down there in Columbus, Mississippi. And I've been going to Columbus, Mississippi for a lot of years, man. And I'm gonna tell you, football. Me being a football guy, I'm always trying to keep up with football in Columbus. And there's
Hmm.
not a whole lot of football history coming out of Columbus. So, guys get sidetracked with other things. But I got to ask you, man, for the dog mentality that I see you play with, I gotta figure out where that mentality is coming from, man. For you to play in these All Star games, for you to go in that last season at Mississippi Valley State with 1 year to prove yourself, lead the team in tackles, and me knowing what that football is in Columbus, I gotta know, man, where does that dog mentality come from? Where you get it from?
It's just me seeing the choices that others has made and the circumstances that they have put themselves into, and me noticing how blessed I am for the people that I went to school with and people that I knew that I looked up to, that they made mistakes along the way, that they feel like they live their life with regret, a lot of regret. So that's one thing I always said. I never want to live my life with regret. I was gonna play every play like it was my last. I'm gonna just dominate and just. So it was just me going back home and seeing the different type of struggles and the different type of mindset that individuals was in, and it just put fuel to my fire to make me just want to, okay, I know this is my way out. So I need to put all my efforts and just stay prayed up and hopefully I can better my circumstance for me and my family. So
That's
it
right.
was just me going home and seeing a different type of individuals at home that I know like that had all the potential in the world, but
Mhm.
didn't either take advantage of their opportunities or got sidetracked. It was just a lot that I've seen, and I just took advantage of my blessings.
That's
So
right. That's right. Now coming out of making that transition from Tennessee State. I mean, were you thinking, I'm trying to put myself in the best position, to get a look from the league? Because I mean, from the time you stepped on the campus at Mississippi Valley, you was running it from the time that you stepped on the campus. So you had to be thinking something about, I'm trying to go to the league this year. Is that what was in your mind?
yes, sir. I was looking to go into a program that not just wanted me because I had a lot of teams that wanted me. I wanted to go into a program that needed me, and
Hmm.
Valley showed me and showed the most interest in me that gave me that feeling like they need me. They like because I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I can bring to the table. I know my mindset. I know how my mindset affects others. Cause not only did I had also helped Valley change their mindset. Like I didn't have means with the teams after with the team after practice multiple times. Like without the coach even telling me, just letting them know that they're good enough. Like even if you is a walk on, even if Valley only have 20 scholarships compared to other teams have 55 or 85 uh, full scholarships, I was just telling them God put us in this position to show that a scholarship doesn't matter. It's it's two men, it's human beings on this field. So you're not telling me that this person that's on the other team or the person that's right in front of you that you have to go against is just so much better than you that you can't compete with them. So it all started with a mindset change. Like once the mind and we started believing that we compete with the best, you see that this year that we gave the teams that we was predicted to lose by 40 points or 21 points, and we only lost by 3 points or 7 points at the last drive of the game. So it was just little things like that I believe that now Valley actually believe that you can be a SWAC championship
Yeah.
type team. You don't have to lose every game. You can win. You compete with the best. You compete with anybody, and we showed that this year. So it was just a blessing to come and help the coaches and to help the individuals and the athletes around me to just believe. That was my ultimate goal, was to just get everyone to believe in yourself, believe in God. As long as you got God, it doesn't matter. Everything else gonna fall in line. So
That's right.
it was just
100%. 100% behind you on that. I mean, I'm gonna ask one more question and let these other guys jump in here. But are you starting to see the fruits of your labor? I mean, is talking to the teams between our game and folks at the combine, excuse me, at the Legacy Bowl. I mean, you starting to see that everything you've been through is worth it.
yes, sir. I'm starting to realize, like I talk to my agent a lot, and he tells me that coaches call all the time, and he got me set up. My shout out to my Rosenbatch agency. He hooked me up nice. He got me set up in Atlanta. I work out with Hammersmith Sports, which
Okay,
is Coach Chuck Smith and Chip Smith. So they
nice, nice.
combine together. So I work out with a lot of different HBCU players, a lot of NFL players, Canadian league players, like a lot of different caliber of athletes. So it's just a blessing to be around those type of coaches. And I work out 4 times a day, and I've never been in this. I don't think I ever been this good in shape as I am right now. So
Wow,
I just
wow.
give those coaches a shout out because I also have a sprint specialist, Coach Zay and Coach JL. They help me with my first 10 yards of my 40. They really emphasize that and just helping me with my run form, like teaching me how to run because the programs that I went to, they taught us how to run, but it wasn't emphasized as much. Like I didn't I'm a bigger type guy, so I didn't grow up playing or grow up running track or anything
Yeah,
like that. So I had to learn how to run from square one, and I'm just glad that these coaches has poured their heart into me, and these different type of specialists have taught me and teach me and molded me to the point where, like Coach Chuck say all the time, like once he done training, you'll be able not only to set these different drills up, but also to coach it because he
hmm
has instilled it in you, and we work. so much pass rush and so much agility and movement drills. So
Nice.
it's just a blessing to work out with NFL legends, and it's great connections that you make just by being in that atmosphere. So it's just all a blessing. Like it's just a blessing.
That's right. I'm glad all this stuff is happening for you, man, for sure. You're gonna make Columbus proud for sure, no doubt about that.
Yes, sir. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm. Fellas, y'all jump on in there.
Should we
Jeremiah,
leave
you
it?
are coming from a long line of HBCU defensive lineman legends. There's Michael Strahan, Hugh Douglas, Richard Dent. And if we're expanding to the front seven, we don't even have time on this show to talk
Oh
about all
yeah.
the backers from HBCUs. What kind of confidence does that give you, knowing, like I said, the long lines of linemen that have been so productive in the league of time?
It just gives me all the confidence that if they can do it, you can do it. And it's just like it's all about putting in the work. There's one thing that you can't hide and you can't cheat yourself is putting in the work, staying humble. And it's just about working and crafting and perfecting your craft. And once you perfect your craft, that's what you get paid for. You get paid have a to have your craft perfected. So just to look up to those different type of defensive linemen like Richard Den, and I love John Randall and Lawrence Taylor, Aaron Donald, Julius Peppers, Dwight Freeney. I can just name them all because I just like watching the top 10 sack leaders and just to try to mimic their game the best as I can. So it's just it's all a blessing to see people that already done paved the way for me. I just have to follow the system and don't cheat it. You can't cheat the system. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, you can't cheat hard work, and you're putting a lot of that in right now. I'm curious. You said you're working out in Atlanta right now as you're preparing for the draft. Um, Kind of how are you dividing your time, or how do your trainers have you dividing your time between, I guess, strength, technique, and get off? Right? Kind of
okay,
how are they looking at that right now?
okay. So like my time is divided. So basically, my first workout every day started at 9:30. So it'll be from 9:30 to like 11 o'clock. I work out with Coach Chuck Smith and Coach Dez. They are my pass rush specialists and D line Pacific drills specialists that help me with my combine training and my pro day training. So it just so I do that for an hour and 30 minutes. So right after that, they all share the same facility. So right after that, I work out with Coach Chip Smith starting at 11 o'clock. So that's when I do most of my speed and agility, a lot of band work, a lot of Coach Chip. He created so many different type of like bands and different type of resistant bands that you wouldn't even be able to imagine. Like he went to Russia probably like 10, 20 years ago, and he just learned like how do the Russians train. Like at that point
Wow.
in time, they was winning the Olympics so much. So he brought a lot of their culture back to the United States to here. And it just I could tell the difference of me going through his program. Like I wish I was able to do this because I see a lot of high schools come in. I wish I had the knowledge or was from Atlanta where I knew like I needed to just come and work out with Coach Chuck and Chip Smith, so I can be one step ahead of where I am now. So it's just like small things like that, and so I work out with him from 11 to it's all about an hour and 30 minutes workout a piece. So it be from like 11 to about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So from at 1 o'clock, that's when I start my strength training. So they like to do my strength training last, so you can already be kind of tired. That way you can get the most out of your reps, and you know that way when you do, like when pro day come up and you do your 225 bench press, you so used to doing it while you didn't did it after two workouts. When you do it fresh, it's gonna be like everything's gonna be easier. So it's just about being in shape and keeping the tempo up. And so I work out with strength training be about an hour, 50 minutes at the least. So right after that, I take a break, eat lunch, and I have I go to my sprint specialist, Coach A and Coach JL, and I work out with them, and they work on just specifically my first 10 yards and how to run, and from square one for me just learning how to move my hands right, how to swing my hands right, or how to get into a track stance. Like they just showed me from ground zero, like one-on-one training, like how to basically run. So that's one thing that I have learned, and then it's just all these great specialists and coaches combined. They can just turn me into I can say a monster. I'm ready to show it. Like on pro day, I'm doing my pro day at Jackson State on the 21st. So it's just all a blessing, and I'm just ready to show like how much this training has paid off, and it's just ready to cash in.
That's right.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome, man. If you keep doing the sprint specialist every afternoon, man, you're gonna be looking like Jordan Davis out there on that
Oh
pro day.
yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. Jordan Davis motivated me. He motivated me, especially when I seen this 10-yard split. I
Yeah.
was like, "Ooh, I'm hitting them
So
10-yard
fast.
splits like that every day." So it just he didn't set the bar for me. So now I gotta create a new bar. So it's all I'm just ready to just ready to
Jeremiah,
go.
one last question for you. How you went to Mississippi Valley State? How long did Coach Dancy get in this recruiting pitch to you before he mentioned Jerry Rice?
Man, that was the first thing, he mentioned was, Jerry Rice. This is home of Jerry Rice. And Coach Dancy, I knew from the first conversation that I had with Coach Dancy that he was more than just a head coach, or he was more than just a coach. I looked like he was actually a real mentor, someone I can look up to, that I can actually see myself doing what he doing in 10 to 20 years after I spend my after I live my professional career. So like Coach Dancy, it was just a blessing to meet someone that age that's a head coach for big time Division I program, big time Division I conference. So it was just a blessing to meet Coach Dancy. But yes, Jerry Rice, that is the what you call the GOAT. He's the GOAT. And Mississippi Valley loves him. Everywhere you go is Jerry Rice, Jerry Rice, Jerry Rice. And my coach Willie Time was his quarterback. So
Yeah.
he
That's
gonna
right.
make sure that you don't forget about their run that they had at Valley. So
Absolutely. Well, hey, you said you're working out with Jackson State. Can't wait to look at those pro day results. I'm sure you'll do awesome, man. Can't wait.
yes, sir.
Let's go back to the event when you get the invitation for us and everybody that we're bringing on, kind of asking this question. When you walked in day one, what was that like? From getting the invitation to actually showing up, what was your thought process from the invitation to showing up day one to measurements with scouts in the room?
When I got the invitation, I was so honored because it was in the middle of the season. And if I'm not mistaken, was the Pigskin it was like the second bowl game that I had received at the time. So I was so excited, and I had told all my teammates about it, and I was just telling them like, man, we got to all play in this Pigskin Bowl. This new bowl, and it's a great opportunity to go out there and showcase your talent. So I was just happy for y'all to even pick me and choose me out of everyone else. So I was just grateful for that opportunity. And the first day when I got there and I seen all those scouts, all I was thinking about was, okay, Caine, you need to hit some push-ups. You gotta pad that look test. You know, it's I walk in there, it look like it's about 20, 30 scouts in the room sitting down with taking notes or whatever they was doing. So I got kind of nervous, but that comes with the process. But
Yeah.
I was just
All
happy to
right.
be there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Glad to hear that, bro. Last one out of this, and make it real quick. Like, what I see is a big guy that from your stance, you keep your vision in the backfield. Not a lot of people do that. You're always working, especially on pass plays, working to see what's in the backfield. Always working your way around our offensive lineman. You know what I mean? So, and you move laterally well. And I don't know if that's what you get from Tennessee State or what you get from Mississippi Valley State, or if playing basketball in high school has a lot to do with your ability as a 6'3", 290 to be able to move laterally and then pursue, for a big guy. So my question to you about that, because you play from 0 to 5, right? 0 technique to 5,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And it seems like in the tape that the coordinator or the head coach is confident with swinging you around in stunts to the outside and without you losing contain at that size. So what is your bread and butter? Is it your preference would be to be a 0 guy, 2 gap guy, or a guy with a single gap responsibility?
I would like to be a single gap responsibility, 3 technique.
Yes, sir.
But I can play it all. I can play 2 gaps. I can play the edge. I like playing the edge. I like playing the 5 technique and the 3 technique just because you get more one-on-one. So when I was at the nose a lot, I had to take on a lot of double teams and stuff like that. So the ultimate goal for me is try to create a one-on-one. So it's easier just to create a one-on-one at the 3 technique and the 5 technique. So, but any position that a NFL coach asks me to play, I'm gonna play it. So that's why I put it on film to let them know that I can play it. I can play 1 gap, 2 gap. I can stunt. I can just do it all. Whatever you need me to do, I can do it, coach. So that's the type of player I am. So whatever the team needs. So basically,
You still at 290 right now?
295.
All right, 295. So 3 technique is probably gonna be your home place on that NFL side, right?
Oh yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming on, man.
It's just
Thank you, Jeremiah.
and thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on and to be able to just show my gratitude for y'all giving me the opportunity to even be at the first HBCU Pigskin Bowl. So I just want to say thank you to you, all of y'all, for everything you have done for me and everyone that's at a HBCU.
We glad that we
Appreciate
glad
it,
you
man.
happy to hear you say that. And man, we just so proud of you, man. And trust me, we watching every step of the way. We pulling for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, we really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good night now.
You too. Have a good one.